If you have special events, which I know that you all do, special events is an excellent way to build relationships. Business entertaining, you know, business entertaining, the dollars are short, they're small. Companies have cut back on business entertaining. So instead of the elaborate dinners and wine and all of this, they have to be more strategic in developing a relationship in a less costly way. And so they need to understand how to do that, where to do it, when to do it, and how do you be a good host. Meetings, of course, meetings, we're always having meetings. And we have meetings over working breakfast. Do you have that here, the Dutch? Yeah? How about working luncheons? How about working dinners? Cocktail receptions? Icebreakers? We're always doing business. How about golf? Yeah? Even those areas where we used to just enjoy ourselves are now being taken to do business. And some countries do business a little quicker, get to the point, get some business done. Some take longer. And I experienced that when I was working with Dubai in the United Arab Emirates. Americans were very direct in our approach in communication. All right, what do you need? What can we do? Let's sign a contract. Go, go, go. They don't play that role. They want to get to know you. Would you imagine? Why would anyone want to get to know me? Okay, well, that's what happened. And I took my time so that I could earn the respect of those people that I was working with. And I went over, I sacrificed, and I spent the money, I put it in the budget, and I went to the United Arab Emirates, and I met with the people that had contacted us to do training in Dubai. And that was the best thing I could have done, because they wanted a face-to-face meeting. And today, we've trained more than 120 students and graduates from that region, not just in Dubai, but in UAE and abroad. So it works. This relationship management works. You'll also see it in hospitality and then customer service. Customer service. Anyone in the customer service industry? Well, actually, you all are. Whether you're in government or academia or corporations, we're all doing customer service. It's not just because we have a budget or we need a return on investment. Customer service is priority. Now, I like this picture because this cat boldly goes where no cat has gone before in front of about 15 German shepherds. But what the point here is, we're always on stage. We're always on stage. And I think of like Disney. Has anyone been to Disney World? Disneyland, Paris? Yeah. Good. So you know Mickey. That's good. I recall a time in my life, I was a young girl, again, a long time ago, and my father and my mother took me to Disneyland. And I remember seeing Cinderella in the parade. And of course, all young girls want to be Cinderella. So I followed the parade, and I wanted to meet Cinderella. I wanted to just see her up close instead of on the parade. And I chased Cinderella, and the float kind of came around to the back side of the building so that it was going backstage. And I quickly ran from my parents and went back there, boldly going where no young girl has gone before. So I look over, and I'm looking for Cinderella. I know she's there. And then I saw her. I saw her take her wig off, and she was a man. And she's smoking a cigarette. I didn't want to be Cinderella after that. Actually, it's not a true story, but the point is, backstage versus on stage. You cannot get too relaxed. You cannot cross over. People are always watching you, especially when you're doing business. They see you at different parties and events, and you have to know when you're attending these events, these corporate events, or it's your company that's hosting this event, all your employees matter. And they're there not because they're hungry. You know, I didn't invite a group of people, my employees, to come to this big party because they were hungry. No, they have something to contribute. And so we always have to remember, if we're invited to these official functions, whether in corporations or government, is that we're on stage and we represent our organization. So go cat go. Now, just a few things. In the United States, in our programs, the number one attendance from the industry is corporate. Then number two is in academia, consultant, then our government, military, and then associations. And these are individuals. We did some metrics and we found that more than 75% have undergraduate degrees, masters, as well as PhDs. So very highly educated group. They range between 36 and 65 years old, predominantly women for our industry in the United States. We graduate about 250 students each year, but the point here is that 8 out of about 25 are international students. When prior to purchasing the school, we'd be excited when we'd have one in the classroom. Our founder, Dorothea Johnson, I'd come and I was teaching for her part-time, and she'd go, Pamela, we have someone from Ireland. Wow, I mean, that was exciting to have a non-American in the classroom because the Americans learned from them. And today, usually, on the average, more than a fourth are from other countries. And this is what's really neat, is to see a group of Americans with the Chinese, with people from a person from the Middle East, someone from Europe, and getting along and building their own strategic network and relationships. And they become friends, fast friends, because they're there because of the same reason. And I think that it is just showing how we're going more global every day, and we need to be prepared for it. Oh, it's one of our students. Sorry. Now, this is just a sampling of the graduates in the corporate industry. And you'll see they're from all over. It's not just American companies, but they're multinational companies. We do get small businesses and medium-sized businesses reflected in our students as well. But definitely you'll see a variety of industries represented in our corporate graduates. And of course we have the government too in other areas. Oh, has anyone seen this man before? He doesn't work for you, does he? What we're finding as well, and what I hear when we're doing on-site customized trainings, we hear from the corporation that their people tend to be more transactional, like pushing papers and stamping, etc., versus interactional. And the difference there is that they can't afford to have someone in the back room just pressing papers and pushing papers and sending emails. I mean, they really need their front line to be their bottom line. And so we're seeing, even in industries like engineering, that those engineers that would be behind computers or desks, etc., are now being groomed so that they can represent the company and have face time with the client or prospective client. They cannot afford to have them in the back. Well, maybe this guy you definitely want in the back, but they need to represent their company and their organization. So now they send them and groom them so that they can do sales, pretty much. So that they can be the reflection of the company. I don't know this man, but I don't want him working for me. Do you, Jabir? Definitely not for this. Is not Protocolbureau level at all. Now, this great singer, Aretha Franklin, had a song called Respect. R-E-S-P-C. I'm not going to sing it, but you've probably seen this. But really, in the future, the benefits to the organizations that employ relationship management and protocol are going to get their return on investment. Because it's how you make people feel. And they're going to have more enjoyable relationships, either internally or externally, like we talked about with friends and friendship. There's going to be strength in collaborations, companies, universities, teaming, to do better work together. And there's also going to be an enhanced or increase in professionalism. I don't know about you, but I like to be around people that are professional and treat me professionally. Enhance brand loyalty, critical today. Not only in person, but virtually, just like William was talking about, having this image, a positive image on the internet. Because we've seen a few of our political figures not having a positive image on the internet. Just speaking on behalf of the United States of America. We've had a few politicians that should not have been on there. But this is the challenge companies have and governments have, is that in an instant, millions and millions of people have seen a mistake. So it's still brand loyalty. You want to be out there virtually, but you must ensure that it's positive. Cultural awareness. As we continue to go more global, we're going to need more cultural awareness so that we can negotiate and do business with people from all over the world. And then last, but the most important part, I think, is trust. We have seen some really poor things happening in the economy. Companies that we had that loyal brand going down in flames, and reputation being ruined in an instant because they thought they were trusted. So trust is the key to respect. You have to have people trust you in your professional and personal life. So trust is very, very important. Have you dealt with anyone recently that maybe you can't trust now? Anyone have any instance where you found, yeah?
Happens all the time.
Yeah. And how hard is it to earn that trust back if you've lost it?
If I lost trust in a person or company, I don't think we can.
Sometimes you never have the opportunity to gain that trust again. And people make these decisions. They have to think ahead. What will it do for my reputation? What will it do for my relationship? Now, it's probably, if it's someone at work, it's very difficult because you probably still have to work with them. Unless it's really bad and they have to go. But if you're not that fortunate, you still have to work with them, don't you? And try to at least have a basic relationship. Yeah, good. I'm glad I'm not the only one. We try to give the benefit of the doubt to people. I mean, it's our human nature to trust people. We want to trust people. I used to say, I had a woman that I was being interviewed from the German radio station, and she said, "Do you think Americans are like peaches?" I said, "What do you mean?" And she said, "Well, like, Americans are very friendly, so the exterior is very soft and very juicy and sweet and friendly, and then you eat it, and then there's the pit. And it's very difficult to get into that pit, not that you'd want to anyway, but..." She said that Germans, she felt, that they were more like a walnut. It's very difficult to get to know a German, like the walnut, it's a very hard exterior. But once you do, and you get inside, you have the nut that's inside. And I never thought about it until she gave me that example, and I thought, it's just a different way, but it comes down to respect and trust. Whether it's juicy on the outside or nice and tender on the inside. So. And then lastly, in conclusion, I want to just share with you a quote. "To establish oneself in the world, one does all one can to seem established already." And more than 17 years ago, I thought I was established. I was this chief of protocol, working for these high-level officials, meeting heads of state, coming to our base and managing all the VIPs and ceremonies and dinners and official entertaining. And then I had the opportunity for an education in this arena. And I found that I didn't know what I didn't know. But what I learned, I could apply immediately. And so I encourage all of you to continue working with Jean-Paul and the Protocolbureau to continue your education in this area. If business and relationships mean that are important to you. So thank you again, Jean-Paul, for inviting me, and Gilbert, for your hospitality. And I look forward to our panel discussion, and we'll answer any questions that you have while we're in our panel. Thank you.